Hello YouTube friends, welcome to the Red Parrot channel. I am your host, Mary Ellen. This episode is part 2 of the Easter egg demonstration where we review the results. Super exciting. For anyone who is new to my channel, I quite often will do notes as we go along. So in this case, I have just a basic scribbler coiled notebook, and I split it into 2 columns. This is the plus column that includes what went well, what I liked, what I enjoyed, what I considered a success. And on the minus side, things to change for next time, areas of improvement, what I didn't like and I didn't enjoy. Part of the reason why I write things down is because I have some mental health issues where memory is difficult for me, and so the act of writing things down and then having a record of what I wrote down is really important to me. It is now information that I had in my body, in my mind, that is now in the world that can be shared. The other thing is that writing things down is absolutely part of the scientific method, where you don't just do an experiment and then hope to remember. You write things down so that you can then modify, change, repeat things in a deliberate way. So that's what I have here. Quick recap. We have this box, pardon me, of Easter dies that I used, and then also this box. So they come from the dollar store, $3 a box, and they have a whole bunch of different designs. I think there's mermaids. We have gnomes, just sort of straight funny eggs here. They come with a whole bunch of things that are included. So the crazy faces are just the word crazy. They've got a little bit of fiber, which is super useful for using for ties and whatnot. And really appreciate this, which is goofy faces, which 100% can be used to the amusement of at least the person making the journal, i.e. me, on images that can create some amusement. Also, recap, these are the little pellets that are used. These are the die pellets, and they come with 5. These are only 3 left, and I put it in the bag so that they wouldn't go all over everywhere. The recipe on the box says use 2/3 of a cup of water, a tablet of color, and 2 tablespoons of vinegar. Put that in a cup, put the egg in the cup, and then we're good. Writing this down is useful so that you have an understanding of what the recipe is for fixing the dye. So vinegar will help the dye fix, and then this is just the dilution. So another thing that I did was I crushed the tablets into a powder so that I could sprinkle it. Much easier to deliver the dye that way. And then I had 3 bottles. I had a bottle of 100% water. I had a bottle of 50-50 vinegar and water, and then I had a small bottle of 100% vinegar. This is the one that I use the most. And I use this just to be able to create some more fluid, because obviously paper is absorbing liquid as it gets exposed to it. So these were the 2 that I used the most. And this was number 1, and this was number 2. Tablets, I think that is all. One modification that you could consider if you wanted to is actually create a spray bottle with just a color in it, and then use that to spray the paper. I think that would also work, but make sure that if you did that, A, the tablet is fully dissolved, and B, you have an appropriate amount of vinegar in the water, because the vinegar is going to help fix the color to the paper. A lot of math, a lot of science. Let's get to the good stuff. So what did I do? I let the bin sit for about 10 minutes, and then I started peeling off the pieces, and I placed them on newspaper, let them dry to about 95%, then was able to stack them in sort of a neat pile, and then with a layer of newspaper below and a layer of newspaper above. I just stacked a whole ton of books on top and left them overnight to just sort of flatten out. And so I haven't looked at this pile since I did that. So this is going to be like a marvelous surprise for both you and me. So these are going to be my absolute reactions. So here is envelope number 1. That turned out very nicely. So you can see how this has gone through the paper. And so that's an indication of a fairly strong die. And this is pretty. This is a sort of a nice, dare I say, an Easter kind of picture. So that worked. Okay. Next one is, ooh, look at this. So this is adult coloring book. And this is bird. Love the way these colors came out. And then on the back here, also really pretty. I like that. The sun should have gone on that side, but I will not worry. Maybe he's sort of, the angle of the sun is that way. Well, that turned out nice, like that. Another envelope on board. So this is the textured envelope that lost a little bit of its texture. And it was wrinkly crinkly when it got compressed, and that's okay. Don't take that. Oh, hang on, let's sort of put these in their little categories. Next up is another coloring book page. This one is nice. I like that. This is this, and I really overdid that. So one of the things that we can do for next time is a method to improve the method of controlling ink powder on 2 pages. There we are. So I just blah, and I remember this being sort of a large pool. But I do kind of like this sort of the color here. And maybe what I'll do with this at some point is maybe make Buddy gold. I have some gold ink that I could do, so if we improve that. And that side looks just fine. Put that down there. Next one is a book page. This looks pretty fabulous. This looks like an absolute sunset. And this looks like dawn. That's really interesting. I like how that turned out. One of the sad things about the kit is that it has 3 cool colors in purple, blue, and green, and only 2 warm in the yellow and the pink. And so one of the things is buy 2 kits to do 1 session. Because I really like having the red and the yellow as available, because the yellow and the blue will make green. So, oh, and that's another thing. So don't use one of the cool colors. Either the blue, maybe the, it'd be hard to figure out which of those we don't use. Okay, another envelope. Ooh, this one turned out funky. I like this. This turned out really nice. So you can see here where there's the purple, where when we did it to start with, it just looked like another blue. This dried up purple. That turned out nice. I like that. Okay, oh, here's some of the gold papers. And I'm just sort of patting them down because there is residual, oh! So this, I'm going to bring one over, it was resting on the back side of the tickets, and the ticket ink came out on the back. That creates some interest. So I much prefer this as to the straight white, and then here as well. It's got, you know, beautiful pink, got the orange, and then a yellow, and then the multicolor there. So those turned out great. I like those. A lot more options now for the paper, to me, that it's colored. Okay, so let's do a couple of tickets. So these tickets are also much better. Nice sort of dark, and then some greens, and then this one over here also turned out really nicely. Okay, oh, we're back to coloring book. This is air quotes good page for me, that it is not too dyed, so not too heavily dyed, and you can still see all the images. Oh, and on the back side, that looks just marvelous. I like that. And I also like the sort of the scrumbliness on the sides as well. So that turned out really nice. I like that a lot. Oh, some more gold foil. These are the line gold foils. Oh, that's a lot of ink that's left over. There we are. And so these turned out really nicely as well. I don't know what that is doing to the camera. I suppose I could stand up, oops, and see. So you can sort of, yeah, it looks better when it's just sort of flat. Like that one is good. I like that one a lot. And the same with that one. So, cool colors with gold turns out best. Here's the ink transfer, the tickets to next page. I like the red and yellow best. Yeah, and we're still talking about that needing a light hand. Oh, here's another book page. Ooh, this one turned out really nicely as well. Kind of like how the light hit that window. You can sort of see it's out there, but then there's sort of like that intense reflection on the window. That's really nice. I like that. And then this is just green. I think if I were to use it, I would use this side. Okay. Music page. I can pick it up. Oh, yeah, there's two. So here's one that's much better. I like having it colored a lot. And this one is fabulous. It's upside down. So this has a much darker ink to it, and you can certainly see the differences. So this is more dilute, and so to dilute you would use more water or vinegar for X amount of powder, and in this case, same amount of powder, but much less water to make it more concentrated. They turned out nice. I like both of them. Both of these could be beautiful pages in a journal. I'm running out of piles. We'll put that one there. This is another coloring book page. Like that. Oops, it's this way. No, the book is that way. There we are. I'm trying to find the raw edge. So that turned out all right. Yes, there we are. Okay, that's better. And I tried to get a bluebird. Yeah, that's all right. Oh, some more music page. Oh, we dumped a whole pile of purple on this one, Shirley did. That's satisfying. I love that. So that is purple and yellow. So purple and yellow goes together nicely. Clear. Some more gold foily stuff. Like this. Yes. So the dark colors. And then this turns out really nicely as well. And this is interesting. It's a little bit more dilute, but I'll take it. Yeah. And then the backs, I'm not flipping these over. So the backs are also getting absorbed with color as well, which is wonderful. Another envelope. Oh yes, so the envelope. So one of the things that we need to figure out is on envelopes. Deglue flap before adding water. I had thought about doing that and then got completely distracted and way too excited about doing the actual thing and then forgot. And then these are oh, that's me groaning because that looks so good. That's so vibrant. Love that. Oh, yes, so this would be 100% an issue with the glue bit. I'm just going to peel this off. It felt like a good idea to just rip the newspaper and let it dry thoroughly as opposed to faffing around with it. Come on, here we are. And then this is poorly spread out yellow. So this was just, and this was not diluted. It wasn't even dissolved. So you need to dissolve. Dye. Because I think I could probably reactivate that and it would create issues. And I'm aware as well, as I sort of brush, there is little bits of stuff left. And I am going to bet that if we sort of mopped this all together, maybe we'll do that as the end as something fun, and then just sort of activated it, we would be able to get dye. Oh, look at this. This was, I remember this one. This was just a, oh, there's sun, and then just put a ton of yellow on. Oh, this turned out lovely. Oh, I like this one a lot. Yeah, it can be fixed, no problem. Ooh, that one's nice. And on the back, equally nice. Yes, this is possibly one of my favorites. Probably this one and this one, I think, are currently top ones. Oh, and this must have been the plain paper that went with that yellow. So plain paper turned out nice. And this plain paper was purely for me to be able to make pages to go in journals. And once again, running out of spots. Ah, yes. Okay, so this is the paper that I used to be able to create the little packet. So you can see the little fold lines, and I just threw them in to the moisture, patted them down, and just, I am collecting ink just to be able to see what happens. And not bad. I mean, I've changed the color of the paper, so that's something. And I've changed the color in an interesting way. There we are. That's going to be more red. So these owls turned out all right. This is a little, I think we over inked it here and here. That was that blue that didn't, I wasn't doing a good job spreading. That's a piece of glue, I think, or something. And then on the other side, this turned out okay. Not opposed to that side. Yeah, it's just the poor little owls. Well, there we are. Can't all be winners. Oh, here's another piece of lovely music. Having, I think, because it's music and that there is color in it, that it gives the music, isn't there something called synthesis? It's a brain ability to see color with words and music, and this seems to be kind of like an expression of that. Yeah, so I like that one. Okay, so these are some blank pages. And I also did, when I was doing the peel off, there was puddles of fluid that was full of dye, and so I would just take a blank page and I would just pat, 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 turn it over and pat, 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 and absorb that little pool of fluid, and then I got some more paper. So there's probably more plain paper that is just sort of randomly dyed that you didn't see me put in, and that was just as part of the peel off process. This would not have been part of the peel off process because this is really vibrant, bright. But isn't that fun? It's like red on that side and then yellow on that side. Next one. This would have been one of my mop-ups because this would have been an indication that it wasn't fully wet. But again, I would have just gone pat, 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 fully absorb one side, pat, pat, pat again, and there isn't enough water left to be able to fully coat, and I didn't really care to, you know, work that hard to get it fully coated. And we've got a yellow side and a red side. That's kind of fun. I like that idea to be able to split the papers into, let's write that down. Can color one side one color and other side a different color. And that would really be fun if you wanted to do that in kind of opposition. So if you were doing a journal and you had these two pages, you could do that so that you would have a red and a yellow and then a red and a yellow. That would be fun. Oh, more pages. This is a sat down in the die page, and I can tell because again we've got the verso, the other side. And again, nice funky colors with some added numeric interest. Oh, okay. So this was a mop-up page, and I was using a blue page, just to be able to create some interest. So it's not a flat blue; it's an interesting blue. That turned out okay. Another one, second verse, same as the first. Yep. This is just creating interest in a colored page, so it's not flat blue. Oh, this one turned out fun. I like this. I love this. This is sort of like, I guess, the red purpley colors. I like that one. This is another one that was probably done. This probably was on the other side of whatever that other page was that had the piece of yellow attached to it. Or maybe what I did was I was mopping it up on that side and it just sort of stuck because this is all white here. But still, funky. Another one. Oh, so this one was before I realized that I should do both sides. What a shame, because that's a fabulous piece of paper. I love these little water blooms. They look so nice. And it's such a sky feel. Particularly that. There, that's the way that should go. I like that. Ah, it's too bad I was not bright. Mop up is good. And then we do both sides of the mop up. Getting near the end. So these are some more of the colors. You can tell that I was just labeling them. So that's the red one. That's purple. That was the yellow, and that's the blue. But again, nice results to getting some more. This might be what I would collage with, maybe, but I might not, and I might be precious. It's entirely possible that what will happen is I will be precious. This is the last one here. Oh, so this was actually in the bin. Interesting the way this is sort of like this hard purple edge. And you can really create different feelings depending on where you cut. And again, we've got that back, which is interesting. Ooh, more tickets. Ooh, these are yellow tickets. I like these. That purple is nice. I'm just bringing these other ones back to be able to see. So we've got some pinks. Got some yellows. This is kind of greeny, purpley. And I can see one more. And then this one, oops, I got two more. This one is probably purpley and bluey. Ooh, look at that back. That's fun. Maybe down here. And then this is the last one. Also purpley and bluey, so this one's almost identical to that. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I don't use these tickets at all because they're pure white and I didn't know how to change the color. And I had done this technique, which is the Louisa Heinzel process of jazzing up your scraps. And I threw in one of these tickets and it turned out quite nicely. And so I've been looking for another method of being able to take an entire packet of tickets and make them slightly more usable. And last one, which is this one, which is a mop-up sheet, and it is put on a piece of pink paper. And so that's how that one turned out. So that is all. And as promised, I'm going to see if I can, what do I need? I need, oops. Don't need to throw my ink out. Just need to get a little bit of something. Like a good old mom. Yep. Yep. So, dust is for sure a health and safety issue here. Not health and safety, a concern. Production concern, let's call it that. Yes. And I'm just going to dust that into the bin. So, our production concern is the dye dust. Okay. And so I think that is all we wrote for this. I don't think there's anything else I need to say. Do try it. I highly recommend. You can really get some great effects. Do whatever you'd like to do. Maybe put it in a spray bottle. Maybe create just a bin and just dye single colors. Lots of options of being able to create some variation. Just leaving this here in case you want to take a picture of this. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much. As always, please drop me a comment, like and subscribe. Bye now.